Hey guys, it's Casey. I'm 29 years old, trans woman. I was in men's prison for 5 years. You guys love to hear about all of my crazy prison beauty hacks, and I have one that you're going to love. When I was in prison, we used to use mops as wigs and extensions. I'm going to tell you how we did it and why we did it. So going into prison, a lot of girls end up having to have their head shaved when they're at the reception center before they go to their parent institution. The reason that our heads are shaved is typically because our hair is colored. The state of Ohio, I don't know how it is in other states, but in Ohio, where I was incarcerated, you cannot have any kind of color in your hair if you're going to a men's institution. They take pictures of you that they put in a book in case somebody were to escape, or when they're doing what they call special head counts, and they use that picture to check you. So they want you to be as natural as possible, and that includes your hair. You can imagine that this is absolutely devastating. I had to go through it. My head was definitely shaved whenever I went to reception. I was crying in my picture because they shaved off all of my hair. And it really just caused this huge battle with gender dysphoria for me. Luckily, whenever I got to prison, some of the girls put me on what to do. And it really did change my whole attitude and outlook in the beginning of my sentence. So what we would do, you take a mop. You're going to get this mop from a porter. A porter is going to take this out of the closet for you. And it will be new. They definitely can get you new mops. And you have all of these strands on here. Typically the mops are made out of cotton. Sometimes they'll be made out of I don't know what the fuck they're made out of, but it's like yarn basically. You get it? So you have all of these strands. You're going to start untwisting these strands. And I've already done a few to show you guys, but essentially you're going to grab the ends and just pull. And it's going to unwind, and you're going to get 2, and then you'll take that 2 and separate it into 4. Once you have these small strands, you can pull them apart into individual fibers. That is what you're going to use as your extension. So we would collar them, obviously. And I will say that this definitely worked out better for the dark-haired girlies because they could wear theirs all the time and not get clocked by the COs. If you were more on the blonde side, it was definitely something that you would wear in your cell or out on the yard when the COs weren't going to be watching you and take it as contraband or throw you in the hole because they felt like being dicks that day. But essentially, once we got everything all unraveled, nice and neat, we would collar it. We would collar it using either paint and water, or some girls would use coffee and water, just whatever we had on hand to get it to the right color. A lot of girls would try to go brown if they had brown hair. Some girls would go crazy colors. It just depended, but you have to be careful because if you got caught wearing this, you were in big trouble. So what we would do then is, if you were using it as extensions, you're going to cut your unraveled collared pieces out of the mop. You would have somebody out on the yard braid your hair back, and they would just use this as braiding hair and give you a couple extra inches. If you were really good at what you did and you'd been there for a while, or you could find a girl that had been there for a while, they could make you a whole ass wig out of the shit. They would take a do-rag or a sleeping cap and essentially bond the fibers individually to the do-rag, and then you would have a full wig. It was absolutely crazy. But I will say that, especially when it was used as braiding hair, it looked very, very good. A lot of the times, the girls that have been there for a long time had the collaring perfected, and it looked great. It looked just like if you were to go get your hair braided back by somebody and have braiding hair put in. It really boosted our confidence and made us feel like ourselves. I hope that you guys enjoy that. If you would actually like to see me collar this and braid it back in my hair, or attempt to make one of the do-rag wigs, let me know. I'd be happy to do it for you. Thanks for stopping by and listening to all of my stories about my time in men's prison. I love sharing it with you guys, and I just love that you love to hear about my stories. Have a good day, and I will be back tomorrow with another prison beauty tip. Bye, guys.